And we are back. This is all I ever see when I boot up my Nintendo. Hey, blow in the cartridge, that'll fix it. Don't worry, folks, you have not accidentally loaded my E.T. for the Atari review. You are actually watching a movie. Index Square presents a 4-year-old trying to learn how to play Three Blind Mice on her piano. Half an S, the movie. And the credits just kinda stumble in drunkenly late to work. Nice to see you guys. Hey guys, I found this really great transition effect on my Windows Movie Maker software. It's awesome. It's like its pieces are being half regurgitated by the Cookie Monster in reverse. Oh, this is the failed reboot of the series. I know what you did after last season.
I was reading your form and you've indicated that you have Parkinson's disease.
After last season, starring Tom Hanks.
The disease is in its beginning stage. The signs of the disease are minimal.
Really?
You will need to remain still for the images to be sharp.
Can you control your shaking?
Well, I think I can control my shaking for a short while.
While you're inside the MRI scanner, you'll be able to talk through the two-way channel.
What, a two-way channel? But this MRI machine has all the bells and whistles. Now remember, Mr. Fox, try to control your spasms. Our MRI machine is very, very fragile. As you can see, there is no question this is a really real hospital. What with the way they've scotch-taped 4 identical Xerox images of a brain on the wall. You can see the masking tape. All right, off-camera stagehands. Heave-ho! Heave-ho! The Odyssey. Now you too can play video games on your TV with these simple overlays.
Hold still. The first image is about to form.
Why are you talking into a microphone? He can clearly hear you. The man is 5 feet away. Huh? Okay. Brilliant. Thank you. Great scene.
Breathe normally.
I'm sorry, folks. That's not the movie. That's just me tapping my foot, waiting for something to happen.
I'm going to take one cross-section.
Huh?
I'm going to take one photo of a cross-section.
Did she just blow her line, checked her script under the desk, and then repeat the line? Yeah, see, this is what happens when you use your daughter's bedroom as your hospital set. You've got to tape printer paper over the My Little Pony trim. Well, the motorized slab really did wheel me out. You just didn't see it because it wasn't on camera.
The doctor will examine the images and talk to you.
Oh, and be sure to hold the back of your hospital gown shut. We don't want to flash the camera. Oh, sir. Huh? What the f... This is a ceiling fan! What do you want from... And... action. Action. God. Jeez, already this movie. And this is the kids' rumpus room. As you can see, they've built a little fort out of cardboard boxes. It's adorable.
Either of you ever been in this room before?
Dad, this is our house. We live here.
Either of you have a relative that had an MRI done in this room?
My father came here in July and had a scan of the bone marrow in his hips.
How did he feel about the MRI?
He thought it was pretty loud.
Oh, that was just the ceiling fan in the room. It goes nuts when we turn the MRI on. I mean, whoa.
The scanner gives an internal picture of a specific tissue. In some cases, CAT scans or X-rays can be used instead of the MRI.
We cover the entire machine in butcher paper for sanitary
The other
reasons.
option available was to surgically open the layers of tissue in order to make an examination.
good.
hospital is
Oh,
not
good.
MRI
Thanks
scanner
so much for
for
cutting to that
life
guy.
science.
Clearly, he had a lot to contribute to this
To
conversation.
identify cancerous cells and to treat cancer patients. We also use it to examine the brains.
Wait, he's
of
reading his script on the
patients
bench
who have
there. What the?
traumas from automobile accidents.
That's not
Now, wait a minute. Where the hell is this? Ah, now where the hell am I? Yeah! Stop doing that movie. You're scaring me.
Side of the city. It's about 50 minutes from the bridge.
What bridge? Where? Where am I? What the hell is going on? What? Now, who the hell is this? And where is he in relation to the woman? And is he taking notes in his own script? Ah!
I have some of the
Stop
MRIs.
it! Aspiring filmmakers, this is the rule of thirds at work.
We took the images of the brains of patients suffering from extreme cases of schizophrenia. Many of these patients hear voices inside their heads.
They counsel them, they understand,
Some
they
voices
talk to them.
seem to be coming from across the street.
For instance, this movie you're watching now was entirely written and directed by a schizophrenic. After last season brings you all the thrills and chills of waiting at the dentist office. So basically, this scene in the script had no dialogue and simply read, man stares at his own groin for over 30 seconds. The door opens. Man barely reacts. Oh, hi, Unseen Spectre. Yeah, he teleported! Yeah. Oh my god, it's like this movie was edited with a weed whacker.
Dr. Raymond treated a patient who heard voices inside her head. He treated her with a medication that blocks dopamine receptors in the brain. After taking this medication, the patient stopped hearing these voices.
She was dead, but it was progress.
He took a snapshot of her brain and compared it with the brain of a patient who was treated with a different medication, one that blocks serotonin receptors. I have some of the MRIs.
I love the new Dr. Spaceman spin-off comedy show. It's even funnier than 30 Rock.
Dr. Marlin,
Yes.
do these patients hear voices that resemble people talking at random?
They hear different types of voices. Usually, a voice stands out. Dr. Raymond's patient, she heard a voice that claims to be the voice of a dead man.
Ooh, hearing The Undertaker, that would be scary. Well, I see not much has changed since we last looked. Jesus, he has mutant powers! I'm Justin Timberlake and I'm lost. How did I get here?
This picture was taken for Dr. Raymond. It's an image of his patient's brain.
Although you probably guessed it's not a picture of his patient's
This is
butt.
a normal brain.
Boom, I'm holding the
majority
photo
of
in a
studies,
completely different fashion than
lateral
before.
ventricle inside the brain of a schizophrenic person was larger than the one inside of a normal brain. Now, I'm showing you MRIs for an extreme case. The differences are more subtle in patients who suffered from minor cases of schizophrenia.
Like Tom Cruise or Ozzy Osbourne. And still nothing from this guy. Keep checking, though.
I'm holding an MRI that shows an obstructed artery inside the brain of a patient. This is one of my patients.
You know, it's a bad sign when you're easily being outacted by the cardboard
Look at the
MRI machine.
Small clot inside the artery.
Yeah, take 5-10 minutes. Look these over. We'll wait.
After the patient is placed on the flatbed, the MRI produces three-dimensional pictures of the patient's anatomy.
But let's move on, because that's where the lecture gets really boring. Well, if nothing's going to happen in this movie, I'm just going to get out my DS and play some Pokemon. And now the score decides to chime in to punctuate this extraordinarily dramatic implied phone dialing scene. Wait, shut up, you guys. He's actually going to get a line.
Yeah, can you transfer me to the library's reserve section?
Yes. Excellent. Good.
Thank you.
Did I just hear a toilet flush?
The patient will go through scans that vary in length. The scanner will form an image in a few seconds for some scans. Some images will take a few minutes. An entire MRI lasts longer.
As you can see, it's a highly technical, complex piece of equipment. Hey, wait a minute, the camera's moving. This guy's already surpassed Kevin Smith. Oh, ladies, check out that ass. It's so flat it's almost concave. This is the most boring version of the bag of poop on the doorstep prank ever performed.
I started moving on Monday. My apartment's down the hall.
It's been 5 minutes and you're still talking about this? Yes, good. Keep focusing on the door. The door, damn you! Not the actress who's speaking, the door!
So are you all settled in your new apartment?
Oh no, he died of boredom. I'm almost there myself. Someone hit him with a ketchup packet.
Ed.
What, his name was Ed? No! Ed! We barely knew you!
Thanks. I don't know much before that. My mother didn't go into the details.
Who are
She
you?
spent most of her early years in a small town.
Who's
I
this?
can go as far back as my grandfather.
Where
He
are
grew up
we?
in Brigham. He didn't have any brothers or sisters.
What are they talking about?
Did he leave the town?
Sometimes he gave me the impression that he
Do they live
did,
together?
But my grandfather stayed in Brigham for most of his life.
Are they lesbians?
What did he do in Ringham?
He became a carpenter.
Well, my father also grew up in a small town.
Once again, the set
He,
design is
stayed in
spot
his
on.
town
You really
until
believe
he
this
was
is a woman's
15.
apartment, what with these
Later
steel
on,
shelving
he moved
units?
away into the suburbs of a large city. Oh, you did some nice radio clock. Where did you
Even the
get it?
actresses cannot believe we're actually talking about a radio
The,
clock.
Buttons on my old one weren't working anymore, so.
Wow. You can no longer legally complain about Quentin Tarantino writing scenes where women talk about nothing. Never again. Renee Zellweger's late for work.
We've been sharing the room together since the beginning of term, but I rarely see her.
What's with the lighting in this apartment? Do these ladies light the place with a single halogen floodlight?
Need my neurochemistry book?
She's your new roommate.
She spends a lot of hours in the Failer building, and when she's here, she rarely sees me because I spend a lot of hours at the Auburn Hospital.
Todd has injured his hand over the weekend.
Cut.
He's
No,
pretty
Melissa,
sad
we
that
didn't
he's
get
lost
any of
himself
that. You got to
in the
enunciate
game
next
during
time,
him.
okay?
He's worried that it might be permanent.
Well, these ladies only had one roll of wallpaper and no glue, so they just stapled it to the sides of the wall. It seemed to work out.
If the damage was in the hand...
The nerves were either cut or damaged.
And
Has,
and an actress forgets her line.
yeah.
And they leave it in the movie! Excellent!
Well,
Good
he was telling me
job!
recently that his hand hasn't gotten better.
The specialist may be able to do something for him.
For who?
It's easier to repair a nerve in the hand than a nerve in the spinal cord.
It's fascinating that you can repair a nerve in a hand, but not the ones in a spinal cord.
Neurosurgery is my field. Sarah is actually writing a paper on nerve grafting.
These edits
She
are
has some
killing me.
photos that show the nerves in the spinal cord.
Okay, wait, why is she exiting a house now when she was clearly just inside some kind of abandoned tenement building not 2 minutes
There
ago?
are places
Oh,
I'd still like to visit. I still haven't been to the main market. Food isn't bad from what I've gathered.
Well, your room is almost as spacious as mine.
it's almost like we
There's
used an abandoned
apartment down the
office
hall
building and
that
just
is
converted it
larger.
into a
It
set.
has 3 bedrooms.
I saw this ad in the magazine for some apartments north of Bagwell.
A police siren can clearly be heard in the background, but does that stop our director from doing another take? No, I tell you, no! The show must go on! The text tool in Photoshop, helping you establish your locations for free! So the local newspaper is a single article printed on one sheet of paper from my laser printer. And now, a zombie's point of view. The 4th floor is neither up nor down, it's simply left. Basement, right. I'll just check my imaginary watch. Guess it's time.
Hi, I'm a new intern. I think I'm on the 3rd floor.
Of the Prorollus Corporation. See, we know she's not on the 3rd floor because we established in the earlier shot that she was clearly on the 4th floor, or at least heading to it.
Sarah?
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi,
Different
fellow
ability?
intern.
Yeah, it's my second day. The bulletin board has a lot of notices.
Yeah, it really looks like there's a lot going on at the Prorolus Corporation. You don't need to knock. You were just in here.
There's someone else in Mr. Kintura's office.
Yeah. Did you recognize her?
The girl in the office?
She's the person that discovered Ed Brown's body.
You know, if you pan over to the right, you'd see this is where they put Milton's desk. It's down in the basement.
Ed Brown. Oh.
Good edit. Thank you.
Student discovered dead in downtown apartment?
Yep. He was living in my dorms. I found a place outside campus.
It was a mistake putting the microphone in a steel tub halfway across the
I
room.
heard about that on the news. I didn't know that was the same person.
You know, there's been 3 homicides in the past 4 months.
Yeah, on the news they keep showing where the homicides took place.
Okay, yes, you
happened
can
in
hear
Ed's.
people loudly
Some
climbing the
sort of
stairs in the next room, but that was no reason to do another take. This
Look at
one
some
was
articles.
magic.
The victims had similar stab wounds.
And cut.
Oh,
Oh.
I have your...
Oh, great. Thanks. Thanks for participating.
No problem.
So what'd you think of the questions?
I think that you'd probably get some really strange looks if you asked those at my dinner date.
A crash zoom!
He probably has second thoughts about ever going on another date.
Speaking of dates, you wanna...
It's a small world, huh? I mean, we're in the same graduate program and interns at the same company.
The Arrow Company?
Yeah, how likely is that?
Oh, well, it's a good thing she was able to see that with her camera mounted on a 10-foot boom pole.
She's still in the office.
I know, because I have clairvoyant vision of the hallway.
The other participants, well, most of them anyway, answered questions 3 and 4 the same way as you.
There hasn't been a questionnaire scene this
The second
gripping since the
person
Voight
chooses
Kampf
someone
test
to sit
in
around
Blade
and
Runner.
question 2.
Only for 2 days. I mean, I think it'd be a unique experience, but if I have to stay over longer, I wouldn't do it.
See it for the second part of the exercise?
How long is it?
Shouldn't be more than a half an hour. Most of the subjects were done in like 20 minutes.
Much like Deadliest Warrior, the video game, most people were done in about 20 minutes.
But my schedule looks pretty booked up this week. What about next week?
Phantasmagoria!
Is
Wait, no,
Wednesday
I'm
good
sorry.
day?
Jeez, I'm getting confused.
Wednesday I have something in the evening.
No one will be
What
seated
about-
during the riveting
what about
scheduling
Tuesday?
scene.
Around 7 p.m.?
Can you end the scene, please?
7 sounds okay.
Please
Okay.
end!
I'll see you 7 o'clock, Tuesday the 11th.
Please!
Where?
No!
Building. You see the hall over there? It'll be in a room in the middle of the hall.
Have you no sense of decency?
The one before that. I'll put a sign on the door.
Shut up! I'll pay you any amount of money to shut up!
Well, looks like she's leaving.
How do you know that? Seriously, how do you know that? Don't go away, answer me! And the director hastily tries to justify why every single set in his movie looks like the same half-completed office building. I really hope if I ever need brain surgery, my doctor had better visual aids than a hand-drawn picture of a brain on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of copy paper.
New synapses will form inside an injured brain.
Can everyone in the back see
People
this
who have
okay?
lost part of their brain through a stroke or through a car accident have been able to recover some movements in their arms and legs.
This filmmaker proves
In
that making
some
an
rare
exciting movie
cases,
ain't
very
brain
young
surgery.
person may have lost a great portion of one side of their brain, and the remaining side will develop new functions usually associated with the other side of the brain.
Dr. Cordy, can you sign my drop sheet? Hey, wow, an actual location. Or it could just be the director's house. What's this picture doing here on the newel post? I better put it back where it belongs. On the floor.
Mike? Is that you?
Is it indeed Mike that didn't make the noise which alerted her? No, it was only a simple towel. If it was Mike, it is very strange he would not respond when I called. So I will get my keys and investigate the bedroom where I think Mike might have been. It probably was not Mike, for there was no one here. Hey, at least they're using energy-efficient fluorescent bulbs. Oh my god! There's no TV in the entertainment center! That was the sound of the movie hitting rock bottom.
Haley?
You know, if you actually added the sound effects these people aren't hearing, this movie is basically the same thing as Ju-on the Grudge. Oh, the tension. Is she dead or did she simply drop a bottle of water? I guess she did. Why didn't you answer when I called you, Haley?
There was a glass on the cabinet.
I was so disturbed by the fact there was a glass on the cabinet that I panicked and hurled it violently to the floor.
I've unpacked some of his belongings.
Thump thump. This is the most interesting character so far.
These pictures look recent.
He mailed them to me a couple of weeks before the day he was stabbed.
Looks like Dr. Spaceman married Mick Jagger.
I went to his apartment to get his belongings, but the police had taken most of them away to be analyzed, except for some items in his closet.
So there's one light illuminating every scene, and every time the camera moves, it does too.
Man with severe injury, elderly patient with Alzheimer's. We also talked about the other people in his group.
Well, it looks like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo got that sex change he always
I
wanted.
saw the note on the table.
Yeah, the driver tried to deliver the package this morning.
And that's the last line in the scene, so yeah. Here's a fan. The movie's only fan, by the way.
Raise your left arm as high as you can.
And in case you're wondering, we had to get rid of the old MRI machine. Homeless people kept trying to steal it and live in it.
It's higher than you were able to raise it during your previous visit. You should be able to get it even higher in the coming weeks.
It seems to get better every day.
Yeah, well, the nerves are still healing. The next couple of weeks, you should be able to regain normal movement of the arm. Now, the numb sensation in your foot, how's that?
I've got a numb sensation in my ass. You want to check that out?
The same.
That's the trade-off that we talked about. I took a small portion of the nerves around the ankle and grafted them into your arm.
Well, there's little discomfort in my foot, and the numb sensation doesn't bother me as much anymore.
Don't have an actual neurochemistry book? Well, it's nothing a $12.99 label maker won't fix.
The computer room on the first floor is being moved to the second. I went to print some documents and a technician said the printers had been moved.
But the printers were moved? This changes everything!
Can you still print?
You know, I can't believe I'm saying this, but this guy troubleshooting the printers is the most dramatic thing to happen so far.
Printers in the basement you can use.
Oh, the basement. Oh, problem
The
solved.
computer room on the second floor should be available to print tomorrow.
Another office crisis that could have been averted with shared network printers on a wireless connection.
Yeah, I'm taking a class taught by Robert Bree in the spring. I took a look at biology with him.
I think I'm going to use this monologue next time I go into an audition. Should kill him. Little less energy, though. Don't want to seem too manic. Hey, pan over to the right. I want to know about the Pineapple Club.
After Friday, we'll have a long weekend with Monday off.
So the one piece of furniture they have is the cheetah print futon.
How's Dad? Oh, well, biochemistry is one of the hardest subjects.
Well, it might be a little easier if you actually plugged your computer monitor into something.
Hands-on dissection of brains and spinal cords is until next year. We don't operate on live patients. That doesn't happen until residency.
Just imagine how cool it would be if we were actually at the Pineapple Club instead of being stuck at home with this movie.
God, I haven't seen her in forever.
Seen who?
Where did you run into her?
Who are you talking to?
Do you think she remembers me?
Ah, the lighting radically changed.
The last time I saw her was Lexington.
The scariest thing about this movie so far is the
Yeah,
wallpaper.
She almost spoke a little bit about where she was going. Martin may have talked to her. No, Lori doesn't know her.
I don't know who Lori is, I don't know who she's talking to, and I don't know who she's talking about, and I don't think I'm ever likely to care. Is that the plumbing, or am I hearing demonic voices again?
So we went to the restaurant across the street because the other one had closed. You know, everything was going okay. I ordered a salad, and Amy ordered the shrimp plate.
That's
You know,
fascinating. What did you have to drink?
So she starts eating, you know, several bites of her shrimp, and all of a sudden, she feels really ill. She actually had to be rushed to the hospital.
Just from eating the shrimp? Like, what were her symptoms?
She couldn't breathe, she had stomach cramps. She was actually diagnosed with an allergic reaction to shrimp.
This screenplay made Sid Field forever renounce all his previous works.
No. She told me she's had shrimp many times before. This was the first time she developed an allergic reaction to the food.
And yet another conversation lapses into awkward silence, so let's see what the dresser has to say.
My hometown is near Maryland.
Oh. Yeah, I've never been to that town, but I've been through it.
That last
Yeah,
conversation
I've
went
been
nowhere.
there
Let's
years.
try a new one.
I grew up in Salisbury. It's like 40 miles from Maryland. But I go by the racetrack every time I commute downtown.
Uh-oh, the actress forgot her line. Edit, quick!
I've
Good!
never been to the racetrack, but I've been by that large display for the track. And did you live anywhere else besides Salisbury?
Yeah, I lived in Pelham.
I hope they talk forever pointlessly about towns they've lived in and have never been to.
So, it's just north. So, you shared an apartment in Maryland? For how long?
For 2 years. Everything was wonderful during the first year.
Just after our anniversary,
We just
I
got
found
really
out that
bad
he's
from
Team
Apple, as we
Jacob.
thought.
I mean, it was just never the same after that.
I ended up leaving the apartment we were sharing and ended up in another apartment.
I missed the MRI machine. I understood the MRI. What, an exterior shot? No, we can't have that. We'll blow the budget. A wall. No matter since I can phase through solid matter. You had to superimpose text on a blank piece of paper in post? You couldn't even afford toner? I think it's become depressingly obvious by now that this movie blew its budget on the hospital set. Oh man. This is gonna hurt a lot. It's okay, movie. Take your time. Clearly, you need some time to set up. Get ready. Just sit down. Check the thermostat. Make sure the temperature's good. Everything's comfortable. Read your script. Make sure you're online to read your science magazine, because it says science along the top. Good.
What makes a signal that tells a muscle to contract different from a signal that tells an entire hand to contract?
Could we tell the people upstairs to stop moving furniture? We're shooting a movie!
When not entirely successful in some experiments, the brain signals are processed and converted into numerical values.
Never put your microphone in the dishwasher.
As pixels on a monitor.
I like to read aloud to myself. A lot. This scene is absolutely Kubrickian in the sense that I'm about to go on a major killing spree with a fire axe. Oh, I've played this game. You gotta get your ID card from your wallet under the couch, but to get the wallet, you have to get your rat to get the wallet under the thing. Yeah. I've seen porn movies with more authentic office sets than this.
Sorry I'm late. I got caught in traffic.
Yes, that 10 p.m. traffic sure is a bitch.
Right here?
Yeah.
Yes, and the only other seat in the room!
Cold outside today.
Yeah. Yesterday felt like summer, though.
I know, by noon, everyone was in shorts and t-shirts.
Yeah, this movie was originally titled Pointless Small Talk, but after last season was punchier.
It was like in the 80s.
Amanda Tapping is Cameron Diaz in The Box, a Richard Kelly film. What? He can move a half-ounce cardboard lid with his mind. He's a sorcerer!
So, these are the chips?
Yeah.
I can't experiment with them until next month when I start my psychology project with the company.
How exactly do you install a lock on a cardboard box?
Heavier than ordinary chips.
Yeah, but they're still so light. Have you ever misplaced them by accident?
No. But it's pretty easy to lose them.
But there's no fear of that, since I keep them in this enormous, impossible-to-lose box.
I'll place a chip on my right temple. Then a second chip will go in your right temple. I'll ask you to close your eyes, clear your mind.
That shouldn't be a challenge.
I'll ask you a series of questions. For each answer, an image should form inside my mind.
I don't like this prequel to Inception.
So the chips help you see like the thoughts that a person has?
Some of the thoughts that the chip's able to interpret. I'll see a basic composition of geometric objects.
But nothing else.
Not at this point.
So then will I be able to see your thoughts too?
Oh, you'd better hope not. Men have dirty minds.
No. The chips report let information flow in one direction only.
You won't see any of my thoughts.
But at the end of the questionnaire, we'll switch them. You'll have a chance to ask me the same questions and see my thoughts.
I wish this movie was in color.
Yeah, the people I've talked to have said really great things about them. But still, I haven't talked to everybody. Have you ever had a bad experience with the chips?
No. I've worked with 8 previous subjects. None of them given any negative feedback.
And there's no danger to the brain?
No.
Well, except for that one Douglas Quaid incident, but that was an aberration.
The worst thing that can happen is I don't see anything at all. Sometimes the chips can't read the brain signals of certain subjects. And there's also a safety mechanism.
Did I mention there's printers in the basement you can use?
When you want to end the thought transmission, either open your eyes or just remove the chip from your temple.
Yeah, the only possible danger to this procedure is the complete and total erasure of your memory, but that would only happen if you'd been anywhere near any powerful magnets in the recent past. Oh.
You ready for a trial?
Ready.
Yeah! Suddenly we have a lighting budget. This must be a dream! Yes, good. Excellent. I want you to concentrate. Concentrate deeply, and now sleep!
Think of an object.
Any object?
Simple one.
Okay, well, now you're thinking of nothing. Perhaps not that simple. I feel like I'm watching one of the tapes from the Dharma Initiative. Ah, crap. The movie screensaver kicked in. So, this is what's going on in her mind, huh? This is it? Not a whole lot happening, is there? So, basically, someone spent 10 minutes learning 3D Studio Max, rendered about an hour of footage of basic polygons flying at random angles, and then made it into a movie! You know, it's fascinating enough watching these basic geometric shapes drift around for no apparent purpose or reason against a completely flat gray background, but you know what really helps engage the audience's attention? The completely silent dead air!
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
That was a surprise. Picture was so clear.
And boring, but clear.
So what did you see?
I saw a cylinder. Was that what you were picturing?
Oh, I was picturing a basket.
As in, this movie is going to hell in one.
Let's try something more elaborate. Think of a series of objects, one after the other.
Okay, I'm thinking of a cattle prod, your ass, a guillotine, a length of logging chain, a shovel. Oh, it's not just squares, I guess. That'll do it. It's 3D Tetris. Do 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 do. There are 4 cubes! Okay, contrary to what Huey Lewis in the news might say, it is not, in fact, hip to be square. Hey, it's Silent Hill! John Carpenter's The Fog! Stephen King's The Mist! Oh. Oh no, it's Super Glove Ball! The Power Glove never worked! It's Cubert, like you've never played it before. 2 players in 3D. I'm sensing you're a Red Wings fan. Great Canary in the yellow by the light switch. Who watches over you? Make a little birdhouse in your soul. These graphics would have been really impressive had Tron never been made. Ah, we're in Lindsay Lohan's mind. Ah, the Borg are attacking! What the hell? Look at you, hacker. Barbed wire donut. Oh no! He's gonna be mean to me! It's a Cyberman! He's about to stab another Cyberman! No. Sorry, that was interesting. Let's move on.
I was picturing a flower.
I'm sorry, what?
There was a flower, and then people? Were they people?
Were they robots? The graphics were so bad it was kind of hard to tell.
In my head they are.
Why were you thinking of them?
I wasn't. They just appeared out of nowhere. I mean, they're the same people that I saw right before Ed Brown was murdered.
Okay, let's move the camera. They're not quite centered. No, the other way, to the right. Cut. We'll just do it again.
Ed's face is distinguishable. Right up to the color of his eyes. I could see that his iris was dilating.
No, you couldn't.
Wait, you had the same pictures in your head before the murder?
The week before it happened.
Pause. 2, 3, 4,
And the
5.
visions go away when you open your eyes?
They only appear when my eyes are closed.
But I see things all the time when my eyes are open. Is that unusual? Hi, I'm the director. I'm establishing this location now for absolutely no reason. To make it clearer, here's 3 pieces of paper taped to a wall. Enjoy the movie.
But if you can see a murder before it happens, we can do something about the next one.
That would be a great idea for a movie, kind of like Minority Report.
Well, the police work with psychics to find clues when looking for missing people.
But the pictures are in my head. I mean, there's no way to tell when they're going to appear again.
Hi folks, I'm the cameraman. Sorry to interrupt the movie, but I'm kind of thirsty. Think I'm gonna hit the fridge for a brewski. See, I will be fair, we're learning more about this refrigerator than we have about any of the other characters. For instance, that fridge has cube and crushed ice. Can you name any of the other characters at all? I didn't think so. Okay, what, is the movie taking a break to feed its cats? What the hell is going on? This family really needs to organize its Tupperware, I'm just saying. And look on the door, it's the synopsis of the plot.
Do you want to go on with the exercise?
Yeah, let's go on.
Okay, look, during the exercise, if you have another vision, can you let the entire thing unravel itself?
Yeah, I'd have to keep my eyes closed.
Ah, listen, it's the aliens, they've come back!
I had a glimpse of your last vision, but I'd like to see the entire thing. I'm able to pick up clues about the assailant.
Is it a bad thing that I can no longer tell the actors in front of the flat gray backgrounds from the polygons in front of the flat gray backgrounds? Probably.
Several cubes are in an empty room. How would you arrange them?
I'd arrange them upside your head, over and over again until you lay quivering in a pile of your own blood and bone fragments! You know, this is every bit as interesting as watching a Winamp visualization plugin set to a completely blank MP3. This is about the best I'm ever able to find when I try to download levels for Little Big Planet online.
It looks like a hook. Or question mark?
It's a question mark.
Riddle me this, Batman! You remember when this movie was exciting and fun? Like when we had the MRI machine and there were stories about places they haven't been and the people with the shrimp allergies who didn't previously have shrimp allergies? And the people who are studying neurochemistry? Has this been going on for 20 minutes? Have you no mercy? This is deep hurting!
So,
Picture a flat surface.
Picture a flat surface. Right now I'm picturing the blonde chick's chest. Hi-yo!
Out of the surface, one letter rises.
From the alphabet?
Yes.
I'm sorry, can you guys stop running the garbage disposal when we're trying to shoot our movie? What is with the ambient noise? Now, wait a minute, I think you've done it. I think you've just solved this case. The murderer is clearly a pirate because you're seeing the letter R! And now, hydrogen, the simplest of molecules, consisting of only one electron surrounding a proton. Hydrogen is the most common gas in the universe. After last season, the movie that unashamedly shows you its balls for over 25 minutes. This movie is sponsored by the color gray. Do you want to sap all life, happiness, and joy out of your movie? Then fill it chock full of gray things. You know, at this point, I would pretty much take any dialogue I could get. Jar Jar Binks, it doesn't matter. Hell, you could put Chris Tucker in a blonde fright wig on stage and just have him going, Lee! 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 Where you at, Lee? Lee! 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 Come on! Shimon! Lee! Lee! Oh, good. It just happened. I died. Oh, thanks for watching, everyone. Hey, it's the beginning of Ultima 7. Avatar! Know that Britannia is ruled by a new... Oh, it's a car. Man, George Lucas wishes he could fill his movies with this much CG. Hell, Transformers didn't have this much CG. Although it was a lot better. I guess. Little red Corvette. Baby, you're much too fast. I feel like I'm being forced to watch the pilot episode of Reboot. Do something! Jeez! Did you know that the first Matrix was really, really low res? Nobody bought it. We really had to retool things. You know, if you were really, really, really stoned, you might mistake this scene for the light cycles. And then you would probably die of blood toxicity in about 5 minutes. But you might mistake it for that. What was that? Was that the director eating a tortilla chip? Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see shitty animation. Hey, it's Disneyland, because there's candy growing right on the trees. All you gotta do is climb and go eat it.
Sarah, are you imagining the scenery?
No, I'm not imagining it.
And now, welcome to Peter Rabbit's house. Peter's enjoying a nice breakfast with his animal friends. Yeah, there really is nothing more suspenseful than a series of random off-key clarinet notes.
I don't recognize the house. Can you tell which house it is?
No, I don't recognize it either. There could be a house off campus.
Or it could be a house on campus? I don't know. Either these curtains go or I do. I mean it. Oh, damn it. Will someone feed the cats, please? Ah, that was the director just throwing his clipboard down and leaving. I'd much rather see the alien war I hear going on outside.
They're on the wall or on the window.
Yeah, I see cabinets on the wall.
Okay, this guy promised this whole experiment wouldn't take more than a half hour. What's this been going on for, what, 3-4 hours? And on top of it all, the dishes need to be done. Great.
One cabinet is open.
Then there's a cereal box on the counter.
Yeah, this murderer's as good as caught.
I only see the shape of the box.
Could it be Captain Crunch, Count Chocula? I don't know.
Another door.
Yeah, there are 2 chairs by the sink, and one of them seems to have a piece of paper on it. but I think it's just blank.
No, that's the list of people who survived the test screenings. It's blank. I've seen better graphics on my Amiga!
There's an object. There's some kind of ornament on the door.
Yeah, it's a board. There's a small board on the door.
And now the sound of my sanity snapping like dry twigs. It's not a very good moonwalk.
The image is becoming sharper. I see someone.
It's a person, yeah. I see a woman. She's wearing some sort of blouse.
Oh wait, no, I'm just thinking of my character in Sims 3. Man, I'm doing really awesome in my career path. You should see it.
Her left arm is bleeding.
You'll just have to take my word for it because we forgot to animate that. And somewhere in the world, a door exists.
Where is she?
She's in a room. It appears to be very small.
Ah, she's in the Take On Me video. I can keep going if you want. Take on me, take me on. Oh, she's rolling up a D&D character.
She's throwing objects across the room.
What's in the corner? Do you see a hand on the wall?
No, I have limited view of the wall.
Yeah, there's someone else inside the room.
Chewie? Is that you? Chewie!
Who else? I don't see anyone.
The deadly Mr. Egghead.
Something. Do you recognize them?
I just see a blur. There's a haze over the face.
Hang on, I gotta let one. You demanded more footage of the door, and we're giving it to you! Mr. Egghead, that's not how you hold your ice cream cone. Beware the Phantom of the Opera! Ow, hey, why'd you hit me with a cube? The dark side of Second Life. Hello, I'm the masked conductor. Are there any orchestras you need conducting? Oh no, someone dropped their CDs! Okay, this is really getting out of hand. Can someone let the cats out? The death of virtual Miley Cyrus. I can't find any good radio stations.
What is she doing?
She's facing the door. She's trying to open the door, but she can't get out.
Oh, I've seen this. This is part of the sex tape that Lara Croft made back in the early days when she was still really low res. Tried to have it buried, but the Inquirer dug it up. They always do.
Oh, the vision, it's stopped.
Oh, this is so boring. You know, if you're gonna be a bad actor in a shitty movie, you might as well go all out. Give it a little energy. You know, like, oh my god! Alright, if nobody's gonna feed the cats, I will. Jeez. I'll be out in a few minutes, bitch.
It looks like someone left a book in the living room. Is it yours?
It's called Dianetics. I didn't buy it. Is it yours? Take your time.
What we've just seen might not have really happened. Do you know the woman?
I don't know who she is.
Angie?
I couldn't tell where she was. The surrounding didn't have enough detail.
I saw the inside of the room, and just outside of the house, and that's not enough information.
Okay, yes, you've completely established that this house exists, but I still don't know where it is, who's inside it, or what significance it has. Come on, movie!
While I was out there, an ambulance went to a house on Lara Street. A woman was trapped in her room. She has multiple stab wounds and she's in critical condition.
It might have been interesting to show the audience, but trust me, I saw it.
I need some fresh air.
Okay, just be careful. I can hear the alien seahorses flying overhead. They're really pissed off tonight for some reason. Not confused enough yet? Here's 3 more things you don't know what they are. Why don't you sit down in this chair and think about what you just saw?
Well, the wind died down.
What the hell is that noise? Are they in a submarine?
How much do we have left?
Well, got 4 questions left.
There's about 40 minutes of movie
You
left.
can finish another time if you want.
Oh yes, please God, say yes!
No, let's just finish the 4 questions and then...
No!
Because I want to be able to see a picture I'm creating.
Sounds like the Zool dogs are trying to get into the room. Now it sounds like someone's trying to clean a clog out of the toilet.
A bright sun shines on the small waves of an ocean. You dive under the waves. What do you find under there?
Water? Besides that. Down here all the fish is happy, as off through the waves they roll. The fish on the land ain't happy, they're sad cause they in the bowl. But fish in the bowl is lucky, they're in for a worse fate. One day when the boss get hungry, guess who gon' be on the plate? Under the sea, under the sea. Darling, it's better down where it's wetter, take it from me. Up on the shore they work all day, out in the sun they slave away, while we devoted full time to floating under the sea. Thank you, thank you. Man, if I'd have known there's gonna be room for even more show tunes, I probably would have memorized the other verses. But, you know, since we got, 45 minutes or so to kill, I figure why not make your own personal hell complete, and I can just launch into another show tune. So here we go! Look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got who's its and what's its galore. You want thingamabobs? I've got 20. But who cares? No big deal. I want more. I wanna be where the people are. I wanna see them dancing, walking around on those, what do you call them? Oh, feet. Flipping your fins, you don't get too far. Legs are required for jumping, dancing, strolling along down a... what's that word again? Street. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun. Wandering free. Wish this damn scene would fucking end.
Very good. Amy was clearer than one that got the previous subjects. Some were fuzzy. Some were intermittent, like a bad television connection.
Some were fucking interminably long scenes of poorly rendered fish swimming around for hours doing nothing. I wish you'd all just die. That's it, guys. I'm out of show tunes. If there's another freaking animated scene, I'm just gonna have to go on that killing spree. What, did the cameraman lose his keys? Can we help you, cameraman? This is like the last scene of the Blair Witch Project, only not nearly as well shot. Good God, the madness of Roland was easier to follow than this. This movie really does capture the futility and annoyance of having to shovel the walk. Yes, thank you. We covered this scene. It's been done. Mission accomplished. What are you telling me, movie? What do you want? Tell me what you want, movie! Tell me who must die and they will die by my hands! Just go inside! Have something happen! This is like the last scene of 2001 when Dave Bowman emerges from the black hole. Is there a second cameraman and he's just lost? No! No, please! I don't want to see any more flying crackers. Is she imagining how to make a sandwich? You know, when your computer graphics are clearly and measurably worse than Weird Al Yankovic's Beverly Hillbillies video, you really need to stop and rethink your life. You know, in 2009, computer graphics this extravagant really pushed the boundaries of my graphing calculator's processing power. And you can see the cameraman's shadow now. Good, thank you. It's what you'd see if Burger Time were a virtual reality game. So, folks, you can really see how this all adds up to catching a mass murderer, don't you? With the flying squares and the things. No? Well, keep watching. In another 20 minutes, I'm sure you'll figure it out. You think it's easy, you know, doing what I do, you know, just sitting in front of a bad movie and making fun of it. And, you know, or ordinarily I'd say it was, but, you know, that's usually assuming that the movie you're watching, you know, things are actually happening. You're not just staring at a chair for 5 minutes at a time and then going over to watch a screensaver for another 20 minutes and then going back to the chair and then going back to these two assholes sitting in front of the table, then going back to the screensaver and watching Swiss cheese fly through the air, and it never fucking ends! Never! Okay, now it just sounds like the director's gotten out a bottle of hand lotion and is violently jerking off behind the camera. Could we chip in and buy you some textures of some kind, or perhaps a soundtrack, or could you draw smiley faces on the squares so they could sing "Let's All Go to the Lobby" or something like that? I would buy food at this point. Anything to get me away from the screen. I think this is it. I think this is the actual, literal black hole. I mean, I know it's gray, but, you know, when you're inside the black hole, color's relative, so there's shades of black. It's times like this, when you're watching a movie this bad, that you can actually feel your life ebbing away second by second as time pulls you ever closer to death. Yeah, it's like that. And now it's time for TNA's Hardcore Justice, starring Tommy Dreamer versus Raven. It's American Airlines' edgy new hardcore logo. Ooh, a laminated sign. Swanky for this movie. And Cujo breaks away from the puck. He's got the one-on-one. He hits the puck. It's in the back of the net. Score! This is when Alka-Seltzer tried to be really arty about its commercials. Punctuation, your friend. Today's punctuation mark, the period, or ellipses. And the hyphen. You know, I've been told I cannot fully appreciate this movie until I see it in 3D in the full IMAX experience. I don't know. Oh, God. Oh, I just had a really scary thought. What if the movie hasn't actually started yet, and this is just still a really long studio production logo that's just winding up? You know, the fish were not that bad an option in hindsight. If you could bring the fish back, maybe I could just sing one of those songs again. Hang on, the camera's not locked down. Okay. It was daring of this filmmaker to have his movie comprised almost 75% of dead, utter silence. This is where the cinematography really shines through, when the director starts to crack out his tracking shots. And he's tracking a stationary object. So, you know, it's really artful. I hope you guys have been paying attention, because this whole thing has been completely allegorical. It's all symbolic of a giant, steaming pile of crap. Conehead. My name is Conehead. I will give this movie one thing, and one thing only. The CG is better than Mortal Kombat Annihilation. But only just. So it's just going to stand there then. It's not going to do anything cool like Dance the Smooth Criminal or... No. The graphics are worse than Wolfenstein 3D. How do you do that? You guys think if I actually went to medical school and trained to be a certified neurosurgeon and I came back, this scene would still be going on? Yeah, me too. Aha! Haha, now we're getting somewhere. No? No, okay, we're not happy with that decision either. Let's just stare at a blank, featureless wall for a while. That should help. It seemed like a really good idea when I started. Most movie animations have textures, complex moving parts. This movie doesn't work that way, but it can form simple metal objects, like guns and stabbing weapons. The Phantom of the Opera is here, inside your psychology exercise. I just remembered, Big Love is on. I just remembered, Mad Men is on. Do we still have a director? Did he leave? Guys, I think the director ditched us. Housekeeping. Housekeeping. I'll come back later.
Who's there?
Ah, well, it's nobody. Well, back to the animations. You wanna, swim in our collective unconscious? We just summoned fish and cylinders. It's really cool. Oh, Harvey, it's you. Come on in, Harvey. I've seen better set design in productions of our town. Okay, so tell me if you can where exactly the light source in this room is. If it's casting a shadow to the chair's left and both of their sides, I just don't know. Ooh, the chair! It's coming to get him! Or not. Guess it kind of spent itself. Oh no! It's the floor! The floor's attacking! Our deadliest enemy yet! Ah! This is what happens when you get a director with way too much fishing line. We are strangely unaffected by these phenomena. Should what is happening? What? Delayed reaction there? Well, hey, all right, the Predator finally showed up. This movie's bound to pick up now. Over here. It's the incredibly clumsy invisible ghost that lightly nudges Rubbermaid bins across the floor and then stabs you with a knife. Does anyone want to explain why there's a random collection of floor tiles in the Prorolis Corporation? Well, maybe you shouldn't have stuck your hand in his mouth. I ought to do something. Oh. I'm disappointed I was slashed. I'll save you, Nell! What did he do? How did he do it? And why? Why does the ghost impotently push chairs around before attacking? Is it just kind of his thing? And whose point of view is this?
It's locked? Is it locked?
It is! It is!
It turns, but it won't open.
We are completely powerless to escape! The ghost has audible footfalls. The soundtrack's random notes now convey a sense of slight worry. Oh, the ghost is playing by that game. You can only step on the tiles because the rest of the floor is made of lava. Yes, folks, this is what it's all been leading up to. The action climax of the movie. Yes, I'm serious. This is it. Enjoy it. Aha! Eat Rubbermaid tubs, bitch! Good luck getting past those, you spectral fucker. Aha! Damn! He pushed them aside when he could have easily just stepped around them! What do we do?
I don't see anything moving.
Well, of course you don't!
I don't hear any footsteps.
I hear somebody in the next room using the sink, but that doesn't count. Is there any more Rubbermaid bins we could throw in its path? What did you do that for? Quick, let's pile these Rubbermaid bins into a defensive perimeter. Sorry, Jeff, I'm leaving. Good luck with the ghost. Needs of the many. Wait, no, wait a minute. What's she doing? She was over there, and he's down. And she's what?
The chair next to the wall.
Is a thing that exists.
Matt?
Like,
Matt?
Oh.
Are you okay?
They just pulled an Inception on us.
I was having a terrible dream.
It was about this horrible movie, and I was in it, and it was called After Last Season. It was horrible, and we watched hours upon hours of crappy animation.
Sorry I'm late. I was at a discussion with Professor number 7.
Chips of the Future. 3 new bold flavors of Doritos. Oh no. This means the movie's gonna start
I
over!
was dreaming we were exchanging thoughts.
Bland, endless, poorly animated
That
thoughts.
sounds pretty interesting. How did we do that?
We had chips on our temple. They let us see each other's thoughts.
What was so terrible?
What was so terrible about it?
Well, I haven't seen the last episode of Lost, and you spoiled
I
it.
dreamed the guy who killed Ed Brown who was trying to kill us.
Hey, you know what? Just put the chip on your head. I'll show you the whole thing from the beginning.
That's some dream you've had.
I can tell you about it later. Let's finish the exercise. And see.
So, where was I? I've got this huge box with a key on it, and when I open it, we'll have these computer chips that we'll put on our heads that will allow us to read each other's thoughts.
Okay,
And then,
so
oh my god.
I've written down 20 questions. Do you want to take a look?
No, hold on to that.
So, even when stuff was happening in this movie, it wasn't happening.
Okay, first question. If you could choose between a truck, a sedan, or a sports car, which car would you choose and why?
I choose a monster truck, man. Gravedigger!
Sedan.
Okay. Is there any particular reason why you choose a sedan?
I'm an astoundingly boring person.
I don't need to move much of my stuff around. I don't know. Just more convenient for me to have a sedan.
I'd get one of those hybrid Priuses so I could get in your pants. I mean, get better mileage.
Okay. You can decorate your room any which way you choose. What objects would you put in your room?
Number 1, Farrah Fawcett
Am
poster.
I decorating for some special event?
No, I didn't have a special event in mind. So just, you walk into your dorm room and you can decorate it however you want. So what would you do?
First, I'd start by nailing sheets of plywood to the walls, and then haphazardly throwing sheets of wallpaper
Change the
everywhere.
lighting. I put in a switch to let me dim the lights. I bring in 2 metallic floor lamps. And a wooden round table. The one I have is rectangular.
And rectangles displease me. And we will all sit around this table so we can look at each other in the eye as equals.
I'm writing down kind of a long answer. Does it matter if it's 2 lines or 3?
2 lines are good. 3 if you feel it's necessary.
2.5 if you're nasty.
Okay. So you're given a wish. You can change 2 events within the last 48 hours of your personal schedule. What would you change?
Within the last 48 hours.
Well, one thing's for sure, I wouldn't have that double Baconator I ordered from Arby's. Jesus.
Thursday night,
I sort of forgot my line.
Thursday I had lectures, but I didn't fully hear everything. I was half asleep. Wednesday night I would have gone to bed about 2 hours earlier.
Yeah, I stayed up all night. I was watching Babylon 5, and then I played StarCraft 2 for like 7 hours online. It was awesome, man. But yeah, I mean, my sleep schedule was thrown completely off. I was fried the next
In
day.
your dreams, do you ever fly?
It's usually just the invisible knife-wielding maniac
I
dream.
was flying one time last month. I was floating several feet above the ground, and I was floating forward.
Did you have control of your flight?
I left the ground.
Yeah, I think we established
back
that
looking
part.
altitude, and I wanted to go faster, but I couldn't.
Well, Peter, sounds to me like you need another dose of fairy dust. That's what makes you
You
fly.
were walking, and you decided to leave the ground. Were you being chased?
I don't remember all the parts, but I wanted to leave the ground.
Did you land back on the ground during the dream?
I have a question. What does Sam Scratch this have to do with anything?
It seemed like minutes.
Before that dream, do you remember any other times when you dreamt that you were flying?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance?
That one was really vivid. I don't remember any other times.
Forget Richard Linklater. This is riveting stuff, people.
We're down to number 15.
Oh man, the producer just shot himself. This is a really real psychology lab. It's not a boiler room. Repeat, not a boiler room.
I was trying to get into the lab. There are 6 digits to the access code. Now what are the last digits to the access code?
He's being menaced by Jack Nicholson. You better give me the access code. I'm a reasonable guy, but this heat is making me crazy.
My cell phone.
I don't know why I wasn't carrying my cell phone. Seems stupid to leave it behind in hindsight. Hey, you two, come out of there. I just want to know the access code. Here's Johnny. Now tell me the access code. Give me the bat. Actually, kind of looks like Henry Rollins as the psycho killer. Maybe Quentin Tarantino? Nah, Henry Rollins, that's it. You stay right where you are, chair. I'm after the access code. Oh, snap, it's Sabu! EC dub! EC dub! EC dub!
What the chair, it knocked him out.
The chair knocked him out?
The chair knocked him out. The chair knocked me out, and all I wanted was the access code.
The chair
Knocked him out.
Up and pushed him against the wall.
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
Someone's been stabbed. The murderer's still in the building. No, I'm fine.
A ghost threw a folding chair at his head and knocked him stupid. I'm fine. Hey, Larry, did you see what happened to Phil? I know, Bob. That ghost just totally picked him up and threw him across the room. I'm getting out of here before it does it to me. You have fun.
That chair moved just like the ones in my dream.
Trumpy, you can do magic!
Did you call me?
No, I didn't. But I did hear a voice call your name.
Apparently your name is Sarah. I didn't know that till now.
I'm over here.
Yes, warmer. 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 Oh, cold.
Sarah,
Ice cold.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. I heard I'm over here.
Okay, these guys aren't even in the same room at the same time when their lines together are
anyone.
being filmed. The director just shot them individually and stapled them together like we wouldn't
You
notice.
can't see me, but the two of you can hear me. No one else seems to be able to hear me talk.
My name's Murray, the office chair
Can you
ghost.
tell where I am?
Maybe it would help if I stood directly next to the door and said, I am standing directly next to the door.
You're right in front of me.
Actually, you're standing on my foot? No, that's just Jerry. He's the haunted computer cabinet. I'm over here.
I don't have a shape, and neither of you can touch me.
But don't piss me off or I'll whip a folding chair at your face. Sarah, you've got a cell phone. Call the Ghostbusters!
There's no one near the chair.
Are you deaf or just stupid? I just got through saying that I have no physical form and you can't touch me, so put your hand down.
I didn't have that same feeling in my hands after that night. I can sometimes move objects.
But I can only move objects when it's convenient to the plot. Man, this is some major league pausing, guys.
Can you move objects?
And now here's a marching band to march straight through this pause. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. I'm
having a difficult time moving that chair.
Uh-huh.
I can see myself having arms, and with my arms, I can feel the object, and I can push it.
No, that's okay, Jerry. You can move the chair. I believe you can move the chair. You don't need to keep trying.
Can you move my backpack?
Yes, for God's sake, he can move your backpack. He can hurl a chair. He can move your backpack. Do you still like things? Can you have butter? Sorry, I cannot. My power is limited solely to chairs.
The bag is too heavy. I couldn't hold on to it. I can lift the ruler.
Guess what I'm measuring right now? It's bigger than yours. Okay, well, yeah, thanks for stopping the murderer. It was right neighborly of you. We'll be going now. Bye.
I saw myself
lying on the ground.
The person on the ground wasn't moving.
Being dead, not moving made a lot of sense.
I felt dizzy, and I walked into the front yard of the house.
I did some light gardening to try to relax. Then I watched TV.
Did you know you've been stabbed?
Hey, check it out. Go charades. Who am I? CM Punk. Because I'm straight edge. Get it?
I recognized myself on the ground, and I remembered being stabbed. I waited outside the house. I waited to see what was going to happen. I didn't want to go back into it. I talked to people walking by, but no one responded.
I think the soundtrack's trying to play off the ghost. I think his time's up. Okay, Jerry, you can put the ruler down. I believe you can lift it. Yeah.
Craig?
I'm sorry, I fell asleep. Did you still want something?
The ruler's becoming heavy.
Okay, next round. What play am I? Measure for measure.
Through my fingers. Through my hand.
Fishing line weak. Breaking now. Ugh. So, we'll be going then. Hey, does someone want to take the knife away from QT there? Well. So, I guess that happened. Hang on, I'm still trying to pick up that backpack. Jesus Christ, woman, what do you got in here? Like 4 or 5 textbooks? My God, it's like 55 pounds. The chair was easier.
Craig? Are you still in the room?
Throw a chair at Tom if you can hear me, Craig. And the Prorolas Corporation's crack security squad arrives in a lightning-quick 7 minutes. I guess they wanted to leave the heater running. You can really tell it's a police cell. You know, the way they have cell 1 on a piece of paper taped to the wall, and there's a guy with FBI on the back of his jacket and electrician's tape.
Eric Nelson is going through an evaluation of his mental state. They still have a lot more questions to ask him. I thought what he was doing inside the Paroles Company building.
Guys, I can't be sure, but I don't think this is really the FBI building.
Eric Nelson was trying to get into research laboratory. He walked to an employee who was working that night and asked the employee to open up the lab for him. And when the employee wouldn't open up the lab for him, Eric Nelson began to strike him.
Is the FBI guy the same dude with Parkinson's?
Nelson lives in a town nearby. He worked for the Paroles Corporation until last year.
Apparently the FBI building has the same bad plumbing as everywhere else.
He says that he'd been hired to obtain some confidential research data from the Paroles Corporation. This would explain the connection between him and his other victims. They were working on the same research project.
Yes, just think what this research could do if it were to fall in the wrong hands.
Strange sensations, discomforts, anything that you haven't mentioned to us already?
I missed a stair step Friday night, and I fell on my right arm.
Okay. Do you want to show us the spot?
And now we return to Dr. Spaceman MD. I hate to ask, I hate to be that guy, but isn't this movie over? Whatever happened, isn't it over?
Does it hurt intensely?
No.
Well, then what are you crying about it for? Jeez, what did you come to the doctor for? God. Okay, movie, it's a hospital. I'll just roll with it. I know it's actually your house, but it's a hospital. You don't need to keep establishing it. I believe you!
Lift your left arm as high as you can, please.
Oh my God.
My arm and perform most of the motions that I could perform before the accident.
Oh, this is a good movie! You see? They followed up on a subplot they introduced earlier in the film. There's closure! That's the plot, everyone! The woman can raise her arm higher than before. I feel so complete now. You don't even know. I'm so happy! Now comes the denouement scene where she starts typing in her blog entry like Doogie Howser. Well, Frank, there are good criminals and there are bad criminals, but it seems that Mr. Rollins here just didn't measure up. Yeah! Jeez, Ingmar Bergman would tell you to pick up the pace.
No, he was unconscious.
The chair, it knocked him
I saw him
out.
outside when the cops escorted him to the car and tossed him in the back seat.
I told the cops I was the one who kicked his ass. They totally believe me because I'm a big, strong dude.
Apparently he may have committed crimes in other states.
You know, if there's one scene this director does well, it's not
He lives
this.
a few miles from here.
Wonder if this movie has any deleted scenes. Love to see them.
Oh, did you see Steve?
That's right. You don't know Steve. Nobody
He was in the
does!
hall yesterday. He came back Sunday.
I don't care. I don't
I was
care.
talking to him. He says his brother is staying in an area with a lot of hot mineral springs.
Someplace in Japan, Jusenkyo, I think.
Centerville. The places are all around there.
Since it's in the center, it makes sense. Things would be all around it.
My uncle stayed in the area last year. Picture. There's a lot of places you can stay and swim in a spring.
Oh, good. Even more discussions of places people have been.
Tourists go there to swim in them.
Oh, come on. This movie is over. Just admit it, dude. You had 10 pages of script. You spread out to 90 minutes, you bastard.
Apparently, it's one of the area's main attractions. Some people go there to swim in the water for therapeutic reasons.
Some go there for the excellent water
He
slides.
stopped there on his way back.
This has nothing to do with anything.
In some places, the water can be really hot. Yeah, steam actually rises from the ground in some spots.
Okay, this movie is just filibustering at this point.
Not very long.
Not very long.
Less than a day.
Less than a day.
You didn't get to see the whole town.
You know, say what you want about The Room, at least people were talking to each other and not just long, drawn-out monologues on the phone where you were waiting 5 to 10 seconds between responses. There was a really funny guy in it, and he said funny things, and there was music, and stupid things happened, sure, but they were things happening nonetheless. It wasn't just people staring off into the distance, droning out monotone lines and boring, inconsistently lit shots. Most of the times not even filmed together in the same room despite being in the same scene. Hey, the ghost is stealing his jacket! Get him! Alright, I propose a new rule. Movies from now on should have a shot clock. I'd rather watch my hard drive defragment than watch this movie. What's worse is this movie wasn't nearly as good as the book.
Craig?
Yes, it was Craig. I'm sure Craig came down from the astral plane, passed through time and space, learned how to manipulate matter just to sneak into your apartment and knock your coat off the hook because he's a dick. Actually, if I were Craig, I'd pretty much do the same thing. And I'd peep in on ladies in the shower. Mainly that.
My husband spotted a coyote near that tree. It stood there for several seconds, then went away.
Wow, that wasn't quite as good as the shrimp allergy story, but it was close.
We have neighbors further up the road.
Which is true of just about everybody.
Like last summer,
After last season, you mean?
some of the houses we used to walk by are still there. Did you see the new shopping plaza? Yeah. I stopped at a restaurant inside the plaza to get some lunch.
Oh, wait, I think you told this story. This was the shrimp allergy thing. I told you, I heard this one. Guest starring Keanu Reeves as
Out of the
Mrs.
building at the
Spaceman.
subway station.
A wall used to divide this room into 2 smaller rooms. We knocked down the wall.
Now there is no wall anymore, and it is
We've
one
been in this
room.
neighborhood for almost 2 years.
You've turned this into a really neat room.
We repaired the walls, then John and I painted them. Before that, you could see crack lines extending from the ceiling.
Yeah, well, I can see crack lines on the director's table.
Were these taken while you were in Arrington?
The pictures were taken a few miles away in Bury.
Oh, I've never been to that town, but I've been through it. Where have you been?
It's been many years. since
It's
I've in
been
the
7 hours and 15 days since
Mike.
took your love away.
And the young man in this picture is Craig?
No, it's not. It's Brendan Fraser.
It's Craig. The picture was taken last year.
What a twist! Now I gotta see this movie again.
His brother.
Had things been different, he would have finished his 4th year of medical school in June. We have a room next to the living room.